Bob Pompeani, Chris Mueller. We're joined by another Bob. This is Bob in 84 Pennsylvania. Chris, what's up, Bob?
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm calling just to say the same as Bob from Lake Trove did. I appreciate you guys every night explaining the quote intricacies of the subject matter you're talking about. And I also have one comment I'd like to make about the Steelers.
Go ahead.
In Western Pennsylvania, we are really spoiled. I know I am as far as sports. We're so used to winning. I think that they should play Rudolph this year and concentrate on lineman needs on both sides of the line.
Yeah, Bob, I think that's probably the way it's going to end up. That's not to say they won't bring in somebody else, but at this moment, that seems to be the plan, Chris. They're going to do, and I'm sure you would argue that they should have done this a year earlier. Whatever the case, at this point, if they're not the clearest options available to them in the draft, and if they can't pry away somebody of a bigger name, this may be the way to go because they certainly have a lot of needs. And by the way, people say, well, Mason Rudolph can't possibly. Look, for how many years now? 11 years with a Hall of Fame quarterback. They only got 3 playoff wins. So that tells me there's a lot of things that need to be corrected.
Haven't had one in 5 years either. The Steelers obviously are aware of their own success. It's funny that Bob was so self-aware to acknowledge how spoiled we are that the teams, well, 2 of the 3 teams, pro teams in town, are just almost always in the mix and a championship contender. But the Steelers need to realize that sometimes it's okay to be bad for 1 year if it serves a greater purpose. I do think that Mason Rudolph probably ends up as the starter this season, believe it or not, at least at the outset. And I don't think it's the worst thing in the world if they only win 5 or 6 games, if they make good picks along both lines, and then they position themselves to find their real quarterback in the future. I mean, that's just how it is.
We're out of time, Chris. Thank you as always. We appreciate it. We'll do it again next week with you, and we'll see you guys tomorrow right here at 10:35 for another edition of the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Have a good evening.